guilt is not one of them that we need to carry around our lives. That guilt trips will stop today. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back, Triers. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of Mindfulness and what I will be talking about today. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you can follow me on my mindfulness journey. But if you have subscribed, thank you. You are a trier and welcome back. So in today's episode, we will be talking about how to forgive ourselves from either our past mistakes or from the mistakes that we have inflicted upon other people. Forgiving ourselves is really important, especially if we are on this journey of peace and on this journey to self-healing. Because the more we carry that guilt of the things that we have done in the past, the less likely we are going to be near that peaceful version of ourselves. So in this journey, I've started to begin to learn to forgive those who have inflicted trauma upon me, because forgiving them is not for them, but forgiveness and forgiving them is for me, so that I can free myself from those thoughts and those past and those trauma. And at the same time, I'm not fond and I'm not a fan of what I've done to people. I've made multiple mistakes in my life that I have regretted until today. The more I carry that guilt around with me, the more I am going to pull myself down. And the more I pull myself down, the less I will be able to get back up. So I have chosen to free myself from those guilt. I have learned to forgive those that have inflicted trauma upon me. And I have also learned to forgive myself for my past mistakes. Because forgiving yourself is for you and it's not for anybody else. The more you carrying that guilt around with you, the more you're going to be refraining yourself from moving forward. Because every moment that you're carrying the guilt inside of you, you're losing yourself away in the present moment. You're not fully engaged in the present moment, but rather you're focusing on what had happened in the past. Either you have done it or somebody else have done it. The more we guilt ourselves, the less likely that we're going to start loving ourselves. So when I start forgiving myself for my past mistakes, I begin to love myself even more by acknowledging the fact that my past mistakes do not define me as a person that I am today. The person that I am today is way more different, way more peaceful than the person that I was 1 year, 2 years, 3 years ago. The more guilt that I put on myself, the more depressed I get, the sadder I get, because guilt is extremely toxic. And that toxic will prevent you from healing if you're letting it take over you. So by freeing yourself from the guilt, you're actually freeing yourself from the oppressor, which is the guilt, so that you can begin to love yourself. So that you can continue on this journey of peace and let all of your past behind. So for today, let's stop ourselves from worrying about our guilt. Let's begin to love ourselves. Let's begin to forgive ourselves from the mistakes that we have done in the past, whatever mistakes it is. It can be detrimental, it can be hurting, it can be sad, it can be depressed, it could be pain that was inflicted on others, or it could be pain that were inflicted on you. But by allowing yourself to be free from those guilts, you're actually taking a step forward in your life to this journey. So free yourself today. Free yourself from those guilt. Free yourself from those thoughts. Free yourself from what others have put on you. Because we are living in this society where there are so many things that are inflicted onto us, so many things that we have to carry through our lives. And guilt is not one of them that we need to carry around our lives. Guilt will stop us from moving forward in our lives, because if we hold on to the guilt that we did to either our past partner, to our friends or our family, we're going to stop ourselves from making new friends. We're going to stop ourselves from establishing that new relationship. We're going to stop ourselves from growing into a better version of ourselves. So that guilt trips will stop today.